Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The month of Ramadan is almost upon us. And the most recommended part of devotions within the month of Ramadan, amongst such recommendations, is the recitation of the Quran and reflection upon the content of the Quran. Now, people often read the Quran and assume that they will be rewarded. But reward does not mean parrot fashion recitation of the Quran. Reward means to understand, to learn, to grow, and to reform through the Quran. Now, people often ask, well, how can we understand the Quran? This is a mistake that they make. The Quran has the regulations of Islam, which people feel is the only part of the Quran that can guide them. This is not so. Even if people find it difficult to come to terms with the fact that they can understand regulations from the Quran, they need to understand that the regulation is the least part of the Quran. The greater part of the Quran is all about spirituality. How Allah is, how Allah looks after this world, how wonderfully Allah has designed the world, how the individual is to submit themselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deep from within their hearts, how their consciousness is to be directed to God, how they are to call on to God, trust God, rely on the discretion of God when the destiny is final, to trust in God, how they are liberated from their insecurities and their anxieties and their fears, how they are not to cheat, how they are not to do wrong to others. Also, the beautiful stories of the previous prophets brings to mind the challenges that those prophets had. And our challenges are no different. And as Allah says, Inna ma'al usri yusra, with hardship there is ease, there shall certainly be the ease with this hardship that we are experiencing at any given time. Also, the beautiful morals that are entailed within the stories of these beautiful prophets. In addition, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also talks about the beginning of creation, the development of a fetus within the womb of the mother. These are all great things to be learned from the Quran. For example, he also talks about our psychological states, the waswasa of the shaitan, the misguidance of the shaitan, so on and so forth. How the angels are sent to protect us at every point, how he inspires us. These are the real points of guidance of the Quran.